2011 we came across an horrific site where Rhino had actually been darted with a drug called M99 and its horns had actually been hacked off. It had obviously regained consciousness, stumbled around for about 2 weeks. We could literally see right into its nasal cavity. Its horns had been, these poachers wanted every single inch of that horn. Its face had been absolutely mutilated, and I think this was really when we started realizing that we had big problems.
People don't understand that we are now in negative numbers. There are more rhino being killed than that are being born. If we don't save every single rhino that we can, we won't have any rhino.
HESC focus on endangered species. That is the main focus in breeding, rehabilitation, and really making a difference to the survival of all these species.
Yeah, when I first started here, it was mainly cheetahs and a few lions and all the smaller cat species. People are taking over lands and they are destroying huge amounts of environmental property where animals used to roam freely around. And people say you can't interfere, it's nature, but we've interfered to a point where you no longer cannot interfere.
I think at this stage, yes, the rhinos and the cheetahs are really on par because both of them are really quite in need of people that assist them.
Dingle and Lion's Den, they both lost their horns to poaching. These poachers will obviously try and get every ounce of horn that they can, so hacking right into the animals' nasal cavities, leaving these animals to die and bleed out.
So the vets that we had involved was two specialists from Onderstepoort, Dr. Jan Marais and Dr. Gerrit Steenkamp, and then also our local veterinarian, Dr. Peter Rogers.
The head warden phoned me one day and I could hear the panic in his voice. He said, are you in Hoedspruit? I said, yeah. The game drivers just come and reported, they've radioed in that there are two rhinos running around with their faces like sawn off. You don't believe that sort of thing.
Vets have actually had to adapt and learn how to save these animals, learn how to physically reconstruct their skulls.
If you look at a rhino's skull, it's got like a dish shape like this, okay? The ears are up here. The rhino horn doesn't sit flush on the face like that. There's a little mound of bone here, okay? So the rhino horn sits like a cone on top of this mound of bone. This mound of bone is connected to the nasal cavity, okay? So if you were to dehorn it completely, it would mean you'd have to cut right through this bone and you end up with a hole like Dingle and Lion's Den.
They had to treat it every week, so you had to sedate this cow, which is so unreal, it's actually surreal. If a human being needs to go through a treatment process like this, I don't think we will survive.
I'm Andrea, I'm the assistant curator here at HESC. I look after Matimba and Gertjie.
Gertjie, Matimba, come!
Gertjie arrived here around about last year May, when he was only 3 months old.
I'd actually dehorned his mother, and because we knew there was problems coming. They were in an area that was quite hot, potentially hot, and we were expecting problems, and one or two had been poached. And they phoned me a particular evening and said they found the mother, she's been shot, and the calf is lying right next to the mother. It was dark already.
We're actually about to close up and we got a phone call from Dr. Rogers.
We went out, we darted and put him in the back of my car and we brought him here. That was my first, there was no hesitation.
We then rushed Gertjie down to the Boma orphanage. Dr. Rogers was then inside there. We did some work on him, just giving him more antibiotics, some vitamins and stuff like that.
We had to spend 24/7 with them until we found little Lammy. Now Lammy is basically with Gertjie the whole day.
When we received Gertjie, he came in alone and we introduced the sheep in with him, and luckily they bonded quite well. And later on, when we received Matimba, we could then bond him with Gertjie.
Matimba, also clients of mine, they heard a shot on the Saturday night, and he was only I don't know, a month old.
It was actually quite funny because Gertjie was afraid of Matimba, running away from Matimba.
Little by little, when they started getting, to know each other, and it was just amazing.
Now they have a very strong brother bond. Gertjie is very protective over Matimba, and yeah, Lammy still roam with them throughout the day.
She's a bit of a photo bomb the whole time. She likes the attention as well. She will take her minute of fame if she can get it.
Our focus at the moment is raising the two, try and rehabilitate them, try to make human contact as little as possible.
It's in everybody's advantage, particularly the rhinos, for them to be distanced as much as possible from the humans as soon as possible.
I always use the example of baby lions. They're very cute when they're small, but nobody going into an enclosure or a cage, taking a photo with a baby lion, nobody asks the question, what will happen to these lions when they're big?
As soon as your animals get used to people, let's say for instance a poaching incident, they won't run away because they'll see, oh no, but look, it's a person.
Only 2 people here ever have contact with those rhino, which means that they're going to be rehabilitated correctly.
That orphan has lost its parents. Now it's seeking comfort, and it's up to us to then provide him with that comfort. And there's not a chance that you can leave it alone. So we'll take them for walks, and we sleep with them at night just to keep them company. But what we'll also do is then introduce a sheep with the rhino, because obviously you can't spend your entire life with this rhino. It needs to bond with something else. The only time they see us is basically when they get milk. So they are still comfortable with us being around, but there's no real interaction going on between us. So at the end of the day, I think they will respect humans. They'll be comfortable with humans being close by, but won't do any damage. So yeah, it's looking good for the future for them.
I've never seen a 2-week-old rhino in the wild. So the first time I met Matimba, the first time I met Baloo, it's so difficult not to want to get up close and personal, cuddle the little thing. They're incredibly endearing, but Hesk and the staff here at Hesk are very determined and very strong-willed in that they don't encourage tactile communication.
Stompie was found on Timbavati, mother was poached. We got a phone call and they said they were on the way with him. So we all ran out here. So they were coming in with a helicopter and we saw Stompie in there, a tiny little baby rhino in the back seat of this helicopter with the 2 pilots in front. His body temperature was quite high. Also they said he stopped breathing twice while they were in the air. He was obviously quite weak, he was on his own for a while. When Stompie was alone, through the night time, the hyenas apparently came in. Because of his weak state, he couldn't really get up as far as we understand, and the hyenas actually started to eat him, starting with the tail. So he lost most of his tail. When he arrived here, Dr. Rogers came in about half an hour after he arrived, and he stitched the tail up quite nicely. So the tail's completely missing. It's basically just going to cover over with skin now. Luckily for him, there wasn't really damage done to the anal itself. Otherwise it could have been a completely different situation.
Nothing that we are doing now is working, nothing. We've got the best anti-poaching teams in the world, we've got the best equipment, we've got all the infrastructure.
I do stress for my staff on their own, without me. I can't protect them.
Shoot to kill, I think they have to. The thing is, they're prepared to shoot you, and they do. I mean, they shoot at you, they're prepared to shoot you, so you've got to defend yourself. That guy knows very well he shouldn't be there. And he should know that when he is there, he might pay with his life.
They are highly qualified. They're trained soldiers. So we need an army. We need a small army to be trained to fight them back.
Education, it's such an easy word to say. Not in your lifetime, not in your grandchildren's lifetime, are you going to change a 3,000-year-old Chinese tradition. Not, and by then the rhino's long gone.
We are running out of time, there's no doubt about it. We don't have 10 years in which to educate a whole nation of Chinese or Vietnamese or Taiwanese or Korean people that are buying the product. It's completely unnecessary to use rhino horn.
I can put things on YouTube, I can use Facebook, but it doesn't reach them. So you have to use their platforms as well.
Social media is huge. It is just, and it's growing. And a few years ago, we wouldn't be able to reach out to the people that we're reaching out today.
Media, specifically photography and film, plays such an important role in being able to showcase and have something tangible to show people.
With tours as well, the people we're going past Stompie and Baloo and Gertjie Matimba, explaining them a bit more about the incidents that have occurred. Also with the school tours we do with the rural schools in the area, and these most likely are children that have never seen these animals before, and hopefully we can make an impact on their lives as well, and one day they will actually be interested in going into conservation rather than going to kill the animals.
You know what's nice about HESC is that nobody ever says to me it's going to cost too much. If they don't have the money, they find it, and we do it. There's no such thing as can't.
Yes, it is going to cost a fortune, you know, but you need to do that. We don't have a choice anymore.
HESC is, I think, one of the few organisations that has put wild animals back into the wild.
If we didn't receive any donations regarding food or financial aid, we wouldn't have been able to look after these orphans.
Yeah, they're part of my being.
If we can get people around the world just seeing what an effort certain individuals are making, and that it's not, and that we're not fighting a losing battle, and that there are positives and there are incredible people who are willing to spend their time and utilize their skills and make a difference. I think if we can share that information with people, we are making some kind of small difference.
If we don't do something drastically, we'll see the extinction of rhinos within the next 2 years.
We have to do this, otherwise it's all over.